Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Locke Vincent, and welcome to my Game of the Year video for 2013. We're looking at all the best games that came out this year. Just a couple stipulations and rules before we get started. The game had to be released this year. Full release, not a beta, not an alpha, no early access, anything like that. And other than that, really, I couldn't see anything holding me back from telling you about the games. Let's get things going. We don't have a lot of time. It'll seem like I'm rushing through a lot of these because I want to keep this, brief, because I could literally spend 10-15 minutes on each of these games because I just like them that much. So, without further ado, let's get started with number 10. So the first game that made it onto the list, the number 10 is a coveted spot because it's the one that just almost got cut off, but you wanted it to be in there. So there's 3 or 4 games that could take this position, but the one that I wanted to have on this list was Don't Starve, and it's a great game to start this out with. Love to have a Clay game on these lists every year because they make gold. Every game that Clay makes is different, and Don't Starve is, it's not an exception to this rule. It abides by this. And what it is a survival game. It's an action-adventure game where you have to survive. And in the title, it says, don't starve. So you're looking for, food and shelter and just ways to survive in this weird Tim Burton-esque land. You never know what you're going to expect from Don't Starve. That's why I love it. There's different ways to play every time, and you're never bored with this. So, Don't Starve, coming in at number 10. Alright, the next title on my Game of the Year list is, surprisingly enough, another survival game, but this time it is set more in realism. It's not cartoony, it is gritty, it is grotesque. It is State of Decay. Now, State of Decay is a survival sim, and it's really all about relationships. It's really almost a society simulator as well, which is very interesting because a lot of themes, or I guess the biggest theme that resonates with me in these post-apocalyptic sort of zombie survival media, whether it's a movie, music, game, that sort of thing, books, is that you have to watch out. Zombies just exist, but you really have to watch out for other humans. And that holds true here. The sense of permanence, keeping those relationships intact all the while the zombie menaces is going on outside. It's such a cool game, very different and that's something to be said in this market of, the market is saturated with zombie games. We just have seen them so many of them in the last 5 years, and State of Decay, it's okay. It's a really, really well done zombie game, and man, just make sure you don't make a lot of noise when you're playing this. Alright, next up we have a strategy RPG. Who would have thunk in this day and age? And another game that shows that portables aren't dead. Fire Emblem Awakening was such a treat to play on my 3DS this year. I had such a great time because I haven't played a great strategy RPG in, since like Shining Force. No, I'm just kidding. I grew up on things like Shining Force and Final Fantasy Tactics, so this was refreshing to have, and it was awesome on the go. I haven't played through a Fire Emblem until this one. I kind of always got turned off, whether it was from the aesthetics or just I wasn't down with permadeath back then, but I'm okay with it now, and it gives some severity to your actions, and I think that's very important in games these days. Not enough games are severe enough. That's why I like games that punish you when you do something dumb and reward you when you do something awesome. So, Fire Emblem is really cool. It might have saved this genre, maybe even these portables, but I loved it. You should play it on your 3DS. Reason to pick that up. And that's it. It's a great game. Alright, next up on the list we have an indie gem by the name of Gunpoint. Now, this is a puzzle game with an amazing theme coming to us from a one-man studio. You play as this sort of detective slash gumshoe that manages to find, he orders a pair of pants that lets him jump and fall without taking damage, and it's pretty funny. It's a very witty game, and you can see where his writing background comes in to the game in the dialogue and the choices you can make when you're talking. They don't make that much of a difference because it is a puzzle game, but it's just nice. It's a breath of fresh air because writing in games is super important, and it's usually overlooked. And Gunpoint, you have this really cool, I would say one of the coolest items I've seen in a game, and it's called the crosslink, and it allows you to solve the puzzle in any way. And this game is all about being able to do that. You can solve the puzzle in an elaborate way, and the crosslink allows you to connect light switches to fans, to elevators, to electrical outlets, and you use these tools and this knowledge to try and solve. It's like putting together a weird mousetrap. You remember that board game Mousetrap? It's like putting that together and seeing what happens. And it's a novel idea, and it's a game that really shows that you don't need millions to make an amazing title. So Gunpoint, go check it out. It's just dear to my heart, and the music, the soundtrack is just out of this world, noir jazz. Go grab it. "2013 was the year of the heist, and the guys over at Starbreeze and Overkill gave us Payday II, and they just showed us how to do heists properly. It was amazing. It has all those positive feedback loops in it, and what they do is just inject heroin into that, and it's really just the heroin of a positive feedback loop. It's crazy. You know, you thought you could get a carrot on the stick in these loot grinding games. No, Payday 2 is doing so many things, especially when you look at the first game. It was a great game. It was very limited. You only had like 4 or 5 missions, but they stuck with it, and they went exponentially better with Payday 2, and their aspirations paid off because it's such a dynamic game. It's so cool to run in with 4-player co-op. It really shows that it's the little studio that, this little studio that can take out these Goliaths. So you gotta watch out for these guys because they can do big things. And Payday 2 it deserves to be on everyone's list because there's something for everybody in this game. And really, you just get that cash and get out. And that's why it's on my Game of the Year list. Alright, so you made it to the halfway point. Congratulations, but we have another solid 5 games coming in. Number 5, Company of Heroes 2, strategy at its finest. I was a little scared when Relic was going under, THQ, the whole debacle, and where was Relic going to go? Who was going to scoop this amazing studio up? Sega came in, picked them up, and now they are pumping out, I would say, the best strategy game, maybe the best strategy franchise, who knows? As long as you have a solid tactical mindset, you're going to do well in this game, and it's fun. And I can't wait for an expansion, getting in, who knows, maybe the Japanese or the Americans again, we'll see. And it's just an amazingly full experience. So, Company of Heroes 2 coming in at number 5 for my Game of the Year. Alright, number 4, coming to us from Naughty Dog. Arguably the most critically acclaimed game this year. Getting those 9s and 10s, but who gives a shit about scores? The Last of Us was a fever dream to me because I played through it so quickly. It might have been in a weekend in like 5 or 6 sort of real play sessions, which I don't do very often. And as a grown-ass gamer, you don't have the opportunity to do that a lot of the time. So, but it really this game comes down to the dialogue and this dichotomy between Joel and Ellie and their relationship, as well as the other characters in the game, and it makes you think about humanity. And this is a very close look into what it could be like after, the fungal zombies take over. Who knows? But really, I love The Last of Us. A lot of people, dug it, which, it's up there. It has to be up there. But really, after playing this, I was like, Nathan Drake, who? Alright, getting into the top 3, a special game for me is Monaco. What's yours? is mine. And this game is just so important. It's again, the year of the heist. You're heisting in this game. It's a combination of Pac-Man and Hitman and just co-op craziness. It's nuts. And I have a history with this game because I'm pretty good friends with the developer, Andy Schatz, over at Pocket Watch there. Big shout out to him for releasing Monaco. It's funny because it's organized chaos. In Monaco, the fun only really starts when something goes wrong. And how you react to that is really what decides, if you're going to fail or succeed. Again, that heist theme coming back in. And of course, it was released on my birthday, so it gets a just mad love from me. So Monaco, what's yours is mine. Amazing game. Grab it on every platform you can because it's just awesome to play with a bunch of friends. Imagine a city that lived above the clouds. Oh, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to go that route. But number 2, BioShock Infinite. This game's awesome, and I'll tell you why. Ken Levine is a master. He's a master at creating worlds and getting the player to buy into those worlds. This game is just so fun, and it makes me love video games, and it makes me just love this form of media and consuming it. The story it just blew my mind. It's second to none. The powers that you get and the weapons that you get allow you to experiment with the combat, which I think is really cool because it's not the most solid combat for a first-person shooter, and I don't think it has to be because it's there. Really, the combat in BioShock is there to let you sort of have fun. It's like a playground, especially when you're zipping around on those skylines. You can crank up the difficulty and make it challenging, but really, you just want to see what happens when you splash water on a guy and electrify him and then shoot a cannonball at him. Who knows? And BioShock Infinite was just such a satisfying game. I loved every moment with it, whether I was digging through the trash for cake to get my health, to trying to find out what plasmids to use. Sorry, they're not called plasmids, but you know what I mean. What different skills to use and what different outfits to equip, and experimenting with those things, and then again just really just entranced in the story, and just what a beautiful world. You play this game to immerse yourself in this world, and again, BioShock Infinite, just an amazing experience. Alright folks, we've made it to the final game on Locke's Game of the Year list. We've got it. Here it is. Devil May Cry, the reboot, the remake, call it what you want. Dante is back. But man, this game was so fun. People play games for different reasons. I play games to have fun, and whether you want to experience a world or just hang out with your friends playing multiplayer, but Devil May Cry is just such a tight package, and it's distilled down into this amazing character action game, and it's nuts. Being a prequel leading into Devil May Cry was great for me because I played all of the games on the PS2 when they came out, and Devil May Cry was one of my favorite games of the last generation, and it's awesome to see that Ninja Theory did justice with Devil May Cry, DMC Devil May Cry. So it's so damn fun, you guys, and Dante is just so hot right now, so go get him. So there is my top 10 games of 2013. I would love to hear what your lists were. If you don't have 10, give me 5, give me 3, give me your favorite one game. Let me know if you agreed with me on some of those. If you didn't, that's cool too, because, there's just so many great games to play this year. I'm doing another show. You can check that out. Up here, doing another sort of secondary awards, best sound, visuals, that sort of thing. So go check that out. It's a fun video, and really, I just love hearing why people pick certain games, because that made me tick. And I hope you enjoyed this journey of my sort of game buffet of the last 360 or so days. A lot of good stuff out there, and I tried to mix it up because there's a ton of cool things to play, and there's not a better time to be a gamer, because games are so accessible right now, and there's so many different things for different people, and I hope this video gave you a glimpse into sort of what makes me tick and what kind of things I enjoy. So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and yeah, go check out that other video, because there's going to be some cool things in there too. Biggest surprise and biggest disappointment, that sort of thing. So, thanks again, you guys. Have a great end of the year, and I look forward to checking everyone out and playing some games with you in 2014. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.